Anyway, I used to run after moose. You know all those stories about moose are dangerous?
Yeah, how they can
that.
turn on you.
They kill more people than bears. You gotta take a.
That's more of a highway
They'll do.
I bet you're right.
Yes, highway, but
that's like here in New Brunswick. Like New Brunswick's the same way. There's more people killed on our highways
that highway
by moose,
yeah.
like New Brunswick, Trans Canada Highway, by moose than there is anything else. But that's because they're so darn big,
right.
And people are on the highway, and the moose just comes walking
You're
out. You're doing 110, 120 kilometers.
120 kilometers.
Yeah. Like, they're smacking in. They'll just peel. I've seen minivans like ours, top almost peeled
tractor
right off
trailer,
the top
big
of the
truck.
minivan.
Yeah.
Okay, he was coming down on the highway, hit a female. The female landed on his right beside him.
Inside the cab.
Inside the cab.
Yeah, that was. Yep. Oh yeah. I've seen transport trucks here in New Brunswick, in St. John, and the wreckers demolished. And you think, oh man, it must have hit another truck. And then you get looking at it, and it's coated with blood. They hit a moose. Wrote the transport truck.
The only time they'll be dangerous. The only time they'll be dangerous is during the rut. During the rut season, they just lose their mind.
Oh,
they're not there.
They're psychotic.
But we can approach them and imitate them 15 feet. All of a sudden, you show you're human, he's gone.
Yeah.
5%, a little tiny 5%, he won't care. He'll charge. But you're playing with danger.
Yeah.
It's not like you're walking in the woods and you're gonna be attacked by a moose. I've never seen that. I've seen moose lots.
Yeah. My thing with moose is, like people saying that too. Look at the things. They're like 1,000, 1,500 pounds, sometimes even more.
Oh yeah, 15.
It knows it's a big creature. It ain't scared of a little 200-pound you.
Right.
It just looks at you like, yeah, whatever.
He's like, yeah, my right antler weighs more than you.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me just push you aside.
They're an average of 7 feet at the hump.
Yeah.
So imagine with their heads, with the antler, when you face that.
You've never seen a moose? Live?
Not in the woods. No.
Well, if you go to Maine, you'll probably see.
I'm 6'3", yeah, and the average moose is 7 foot at the shoulders.
Yeah. Wow. So when
that's at the shoulders. Yeah.
Oh man, in the middle of winter, you see the.
That's like I said. I've seen like that little tree that you got behind you there. I've seen moose come through with a rock. It just and knock that thing over like it was nothing.
Right.
Just snap it right off.
Okay, I'm going to tell you guys a story I never told anybody. Okay. I was hunting moose back somewhere in the mountains, in the valley, and that was the only time I really got scared out of my life. I thought it was over. My life was over.
Wow.
I was about a mile from camp, and to go to camp is a moose trail.
Yep.
So I'm up on my tree stand. I'm calling the moose, and we spent 8 hours like calling them. And then okay, I've had enough. So I'm in the valley. I go down, and I have antlers, and I start hitting the trees. And the bigger the antler, if a small moose will not come when they hear that sound. So I'm wanting a big one.
I forgot the phrase.
Plop, plop, plop for 20 minutes.
Wow.
And I'm right in a trail, and there's a mountain on the sides like this. And all of a sudden I hear a bulldozer coming down. These are woof, and he's coming towards me.
Yeah.
And I'm here with my bow in this little trail, and he's coming, and it's getting dark, and I said, okay, I'm dead. He passed like 20 feet from me. Just wow, made a trail.
Wow.
That is the only time a moose really scared me. My heart just stopped.
Yeah.
Then I have to go back.
I can do this.
It was just a mile, but I was really scared.
Yeah, no doubt.
Best one I ever seen that I strong memory in my head. I rabbit hunting one time.
Oh my
with
gosh,
my
you were
father.
attacked by a rabbit?
No, rabbit hunting with my father, and he was deer hunting. He was way off in the bush. And I went up this hill, and I found this big rock, and I was just sitting there relaxing. And all of a sudden, you could hear coyotes come running through the woods, and I'm like, oh my God. All of a sudden, the big bull moose, like nothing.
Wait, what?
Maybe, I don't know, 40 feet
I'd
from where I was.
Smaller.
Kind of sat there,
Yeah, you can make that.
looking
You can
down. started crouching around. All of a sudden, about 5 minutes later, all these coyotes out on the trail. Yeah, and I was just behind the rock like,
I did this with hula hoops.
What happened? Did he take off and they ran after him?
They were running after him is what it was, hunting them down. But once again, the Dakota show moose don't care. They're just, yeah, whatever. He was just like.
Did he turn on him or did he just?
No, he just kept going. Kept going. They were behind him, like chasing him.
I hurt my arm.
They were probably in time frame. It was probably, I don't know.
I was talking
maybe
to
5-10 minutes. Like behind him kind of thing, but it was just the fact it was so funny because you heard them, and all of a sudden the big moose come out.
That
just
second, that is so.
That's funny, man.
They're back through the bush again.
And what were you
doing?
About
5 minutes.
So you were rabbit hunting?
I was rabbit hunting.
Wow.
Behind this rock, well, resting behind the rock, just kind of relaxing at the time.
I think
when it happened,
most,
I was
the
just,
most
oh my
beautiful
gosh.
thing I've seen, well, I mean, I've seen lots of coyotes,
It's a UFO.
but I was hunting in winter
Yeah, but
day,
it's not flying.
and it started snowing, you know, those nice big sugar flakes.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And it
cool.
was not dark white. I could still see, and I was hunting rabbit or something.
Yeah.
I'm just taking my sweet time. The snow was coming down.
You're moving at the speed of the forest.
Oh yeah, really slow, you know.
I love that. When all of a sudden you just like match the rhythm of the woods.
Yeah, and I'm wanting to get a rabbit or something. I'm hungry or something. I can't remember. And all of a sudden I look in the corner. There's this coyote just looking at me. And you know during the winter how they have this nice big fur?
Yeah.
And he had all this snow on him there.
Wow.
And he was looking at me and I was looking at him like that. He didn't move. He thought I didn't see him. He saw me before.
Right.
But that was like a
That would have been a cool picture.
Yeah, like
that
you see
would've
on
been a cool
the
picture.
magazines or a postcard.
Well, that's like that one you and Billy this summer too.
Yeah,
you guys said you missed that one, that wolf.
Yeah,
on the
that
rock.
was
that
was
cool.
too bad. We were downwind from him, so that's why he didn't smell us right away. But he saw us before we saw him. So try to open the camera. And
I have a situation that happened to me one time. I was in Vancouver. And so
No, hey.
I hadn't seen the sun in like a month.
People there are already in there.
oh wow.
Because it's only overcast, it's only cloudy, and it rains twice a day. I literally had not seen the sun in a month.
Wow.
No, Cody,
And
watch.
it was like changing me. It was like driving me crazy.
Of course.
Like I needed to see the sun.
Yeah.
And so I was like praying for the sun. I was like praying, like, please bring me just 5 minutes, Father, 5. I found that, quick side note, I found that I was so immersed in prayer there that I didn't pray anymore. It was one constant prayer at all times. I never stopped it or began it. It was just all that all the time. Eventually, it was every moment. It's very interesting. And anyways,
That's cool.
all of a sudden, I see sun. You know, as eventually sun comes out. And again, it had been like a month. And so I was like, I ran out there. I got a little rock because I'm where should be underwater at high tide. And it's the long blades of grass, the razor grass, and all that stuff. And everything's just wet all the time. It doesn't dry out ever because there's no sun and it rains all day, every day. And it's underwater twice a day. It's out of water twice a day for hours each. So I put a rock down so at least I could sit kind of a dry spot. And I just sat there in the sun, you know, cross-legged Indian style, and I was just drinking in the light, and it felt so good. And it was just warm to my face, right? And then there's a mallard. That's to my right. And he starts telling me that there's something nearby. Because it's only me and him, so he's talking to me. There's no one else here. He's giving me his alarm call. Well, dude, you're talking to me. Because there's no one else here. So I'm like, okay, so what are you trying to tell me about? Because I don't know it. And I look up and there's a wolf staring at me out on the beach. And there's the wolf. there's the duck, here's me sitting down, and the wolf was just looking at me. And so I stared at him for a little bit. I pressed record on my camera, sitting right next to me. I put him in perfect frame, like bust up, magic. And the only time in my whole film career ever that I pressed record and it said memory card full.
Ah, no way.
Ever in my life.
Ah.
Like, ever.
Yeah.
So
Maybe it wasn't meant to be.
So
Yeah.
I instantly went into last file. I talked for an hour while I was sitting on that rock about the sun. I talked for an hour. It was like an hour and 1 minute. Delete. I don't care what the producer wants. Gone.
Yeah.
I want to hear your thoughts about how important the sun is. I'm like, I want the wolf.
Yeah.
So you know, we did our thing, and I turned it on, and by that point, he kind of was like, you know, he sniffed at me, and I was still fiddling with this. And eventually, I realized this is secondary. This is a job. This is real life.
Yeah.
And I just left it alone. And now I'm looking at him, and he kind of like was sniffing, like, and he kind of like was about to put one paw towards me, right? And that's a big deal. So I got up instead of sitting down. I looked at him like I was real. I had my axe on my shoulder. I was just like, like, I can eat you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, oh, who's that? You know?
Yeah.
No, man,
I'm bigger.
I was like a real person. I'm just like, dude. I'm like, you want to come? Like, let's do this. You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're strong. I'm strong too.
Yeah. I'm hungry.
And it wasn't like bravado. It wasn't fake. It was just reality.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
hungry.
like, dude, I've been eating fish for a month. Do you want to play?
Yeah.
Play, you know? I'll eat wolf. You know? And I'm okay with that. And he looked at me. And he's got his big ears. Turned around, started sniffing. He went down the beach, and now he's all tracking.
Yeah.
And I watched him go around the corner and continue going after that sea otter or whatever he was going after, and that was that.
Not interested anymore.
He was like, okay, roger that. I'm gonna go find something else.
Well, that's kind of.